Hello students, welcome back to the video series of Python programming. I am your instructor Shweta Yagnik and today we are going to see exception in Python. So first of all we'll see what is exception, then we'll see how to handle those exception using this try and except clause, then we are going to see else clause, and finally we are going to see finally clause in try and except block. So without wasting much time, let's begin. So the first thing that we are going to understand is errors. So we all are afraid of errors when we do programming. Okay, we want our program to be executed in the first go without causing any errors, but that doesn't happen certainly, right? So the first thing that we are going to understand is error. So there are some different categories of errors. The first category is syntactical error, and those are easy to identify because interpreter or compiler does the work for us. As soon as we interpret or compile the code, the interpreter will tell us where the syntactical error is. The example of syntactical error is, suppose you are trying to print some statement and by mistake you have written capital P. So that's not valid, that's syntactical error, and that's what will be indicated to you. Now the second type of error is logical error, right? Our program, when we compile it, when we interpreter doesn't show any error, but it doesn't give proper output as per our expectation. So if you have seen my last session in which we have seen one debugging, okay, where we have solved one logical error. So the same snippet I am taking right now in order to discuss the logical error. So here I am taking inputs from user, okay, and I am appending into the empty list. But the logical here error which I have done is list which is declared inside the loop, so that every time it is initialized with the blank. So that is what the error which I have done, and that is what we have solved. So next type of error is a runtime error, that is exception error, which does not conform to the norm and somewhat rare. So we don't expect that such kind of error will occur, and that's what is exception. So here is an example where we are taking two inputs from user, we are trying to convert it into integer, and ultimately we want to produce the division, and that is what the result. But here if by mistake user enters 0 in case of second number, that is B, whatever I am taking input in, so in that case interpreter gives divide by 0 error, that is an exception. So 0 division error which is identified by interpreter is an exception, and our program crashes, it will stop execution, and probably that is the last thing that we want from our program. So we'll try practically what are different sort of errors or exceptions possible, and we'll try to handle it. Now we'll try to understand practically what are exception and what are different kinds of exception that Python gives us. So the first is index error. So here we have a test list which is having 3 elements, 1, 2 and 3, and its location is from 0, 1 and 2 only. But by mistake I try to print test of 3, okay. By mistake I forgot that index starts from 0, and this is what I am trying to do. Let us see, it is showing me index error because at location 3, at index 3 there is no element existing. So this is what is index error. Now next type of error is a key error, which is found in dictionary, because dictionary is a key value pair. So here we are having 1 and corresponding value is ONE. Now second key that I am having is 2 and corresponding value is TWO2, okay, and probably you can take the third one also, but here I am trying to access index 3, okay, which is not existing. This key is not present inside the dictionary, but still I am trying to access it. So upon execution it is showing me key error, okay, the key is not present, that's why. Now next is value or division error. We are going to take the same example here, that is A, which I am asking user to input, and I am converting it to integer because ultimately I want to produce division of A divided by B. So here input, enter number, Secondly, the same line I'm going to copy. Okay, and here I'm supposed to give over here b, so that this will be my second number. In x, which is my result, I am going to produce a divided by b. Okay, now here user can make mistake at two possible locations. So first of all, I'll just try to print this. Okay, and let us see how it is executing. So upon execution, it is prompting me to enter the number. So here I am giving 1, which is valid. For the second time, by mistake, I have given some element, okay, some character. So this character, Python program will try to convert it into integer, which is not possible. So let's see what kind of error, what kind of exception it is throwing. So as soon as I press enter, it is showing the value error, because this cannot be converted in invalid literal. Okay, so that's not possible. So this is the one point where user can make mistake. Now I'll re-execute it and give proper integer now, but for the second time I am giving 0. Okay, because ultimately what I am trying to do in my program, a divided by b, that means 1 divided by 0 I am trying to do. So here the output which is generated, so it's giving me 0 division error as expected. So these are the different sort of exception thrown by Python. There are also a lot many others, but now we will try to understand if this sort of exception occurs, how to handle it so that my program will not terminate. Now we'll see if such kind of exception occurs, how to handle it in our program. So we are having try exception block. So the critical operation which you think can raise exception should be kept inside a try block, which will tell that if please try to execute it, and if there is an exception, we are having exception block to handle it. So we are having a try and exception. This is the syntax of it. So within try, you are keeping your critical code which may throw some exception, and in except block it will try to handle it, and your program will not terminate abruptly. Here you can have multiple except clause, because as we have seen earlier, we are having different sort of exception that can occur in our code. So we can have separate except block in order to handle those separate kinds of exception. So we are having another way of doing it by having except and then list of all the possible except. Okay, so this is the another way you can handle all the kinds of variation of the exception into single except, while in other case you can have multiple separate except block. Okay, so we'll try this both and see practically how it is happening. So here I am going to define one function divide, and which accepts two parameter x and y. Now I'm going to write my critical operation inside try, because I want to say please try to execute it, and here r equal to x divided by y. Okay, and print result is r, that is what I am printing. And now except block will print something went wrong. Okay, so this is the indication that user has not given proper value. Now in order to call the function, first of all I'll use proper values, that is 6 and 2, so that my function will not generate any exception. Okay, so it has done 6 divided by 2, which is proper, but now deliberately if I make it 0, so that it will try to do 6 divided by 0, so it should throw some error. So it is not actually terminating my program, but it is giving me proper message which I have kept over here. In order to give further information, if I just write over here import sys, okay, and here I'll just write over here system.exception_info and its 0th location, which will give me the information about what type of error actually it has generated. So now if I execute the code, it has given the class where exception belongs to. So this is the way you can get access to what sort of error it has generated. Now we'll try some another way also, where you don't need to use this import and use this particular thing, but we'll try to use the argument. Okay, so exception is the class I'm using and its argument as E. Okay, so here E is just an object of type exception, which is the highest base class of all kind of exception. Okay, so here I am using E. So let us try to execute it. Yes, it has given me the similar information that divide by 0 has occurred. So here what happens, exception, which is the base class of all exception class, whose object I am using E as an argument, and that argument contains the information about what sort of exception has been generated. So now, as we know, our code can generate multiple exception which belongs to different exception classes. So here I am trying to have a code which can generate multiple types of exception. So define a function called divide, and which will take two arguments, x and y. Now I am trying to execute the code r equal to x divided by y. Okay. Now print the result. In case everything goes properly, then print result is equal to r, and then except. Okay, here I am trying to handle different types of exception. So first is value error and second is divide by 0 error. That is what I am trying to solve over here. So why I will be requiring this? Because in case if I am required to convert these arguments into integer first, and if user has not provided the thing which can be converted into integer, it can throw error. And secondly, if the y is 0, in that case it can have the error. So these two types of classes of exception I am trying to handle. So here I'll print something went wrong. Okay, so two sort of exceptions I have handled over here. So now I need to call this function divide, and here I am giving 1 and 2. So at this particular instance it will generate 0 division error. Okay, if I give 0 here, so it is something went wrong. And secondly, now I am giving, instead of first argument which should be integer, I am giving something else. So okay, it has also generated this error, w is not defined. So I need to convert it into character, because here it was taking w as a variable. So this is also another kind of error, that is name error, that I can handle. So yes, something else went wrong. So in both the cases I am able to handle and my program will not crash. It has given me proper message. If I want to have separate message which indicates what sort of error it has generated, I need to have separate exception block. Okay, so here I'll try to do that. First except block will handle this value error, and I am just having another except block which handles 0 division error. Okay, so now I can have the proper messaging that values not given properly, and in here I can give value of y can't be 0. So here user can come to know where he has made a mistake. Okay, so and the last thing, which is except, okay, I may write exception. Okay, why this class should be last? Because this is the highest version, or this is the base class of all the exception classes. That's why we are writing it at the last. So if we don't found any of the match, in that case any sort of exception will be matched with exception. So that is why we are writing this at last, and write something went wrong, because here we don't know, we are not sure about what sort of error has generated. So here we are writing one general message called something went wrong. Okay, and now I will pass the things like 1 and 0. That means it should be caught inside this 0 division error. So I should be getting proper messaging here. Yes, value of y can't be 0. Next, if I try by giving here, instead of 1 I am giving a, okay, or z, and this is 9. Okay, so it will try to convert this z into integer. It may throw this value error. So yes, value is not given properly. So I hope you have understood what is the advantage of writing separate except block and giving proper messaging, so that user will understand what sort of exact error has occurred. Now we'll see else block in try except clause. Okay, so the control goes into else block only if the try does not generate any exception. So what kind of code you want to keep in else clause? Something like some result you want to produce where without exception which has generated. So such kind of result you can definitely keep inside else block. So we'll see the syntax how to use the else block. So here the try, then you are having except in case of any exception generates, and else the execute if no exception is there, and else clause must be there after all except clauses. So if your code is having multiple exception blocks, then your else clause should follow all the except block. So now we are going to see practically how to use the else clause. I'm going to slightly modify this code so that I can use the result and I can display the result inside else block. So here, instead of printing result over here, after all the except block are there, I'll just put else block, and there I'll just print my result. So in case no exception is generated, my result will be produced. So I'm executing. So in this case there is obvious exception, and I'm trying to give the proper input so that no exception will be thrown. So here result is 0.1111 as per the expectation. So this else will only get executed when your exception is not generated. Now we'll see finally block in try and except clause. So some part of code that always going to get executed is finally block. So you want to put code into finally block which you want to be executed either in case of exception or not having any exception. So this is the syntax. After your else clause, which is also optional, you can have the finally block where you can keep your code to close some resources, okay, which is there to be executed in all the cases. For example, you have opened some database connection, or you have opened some file in order to do some of the operations. So even if you are able to do those operations, you make sure that at the end you will close those resources. You want to see some movie, okay, you are turning on TV, but due to some urgent work you need to go out and you cannot see the movie, okay, fully. So before stepping out, you make sure that you turn off your TV. So similarly here, if you opening some file, due to some exception you are not able to do the work, but at the end you will make sure that your file remains closed. You do not want to occupy your resource open. So that is where finally block will help you out, that in case of exception generated or not exception generated, in both the cases finally block is going to get executed, and definitely you would like to close your resource in this particular block. So here I am trying to do some file write operation. So that is the critical operation. That's why I am writing it to try. So f is equal to open. My file name is my file, and I am trying to open it into write mode because I want to write something into my file. Okay. Now here, if I try to close, okay, here, and before closing, if I write, if I want to perform write w, okay, let's see what happens. In case of exception is generated, here I have not defined my w, so that it will give me some error. So in except, I am writing print something went wrong. Okay, in else block I am just using pass, and in finally also I am using pass, because right now I do not want to write anything into it. So let's execute it. So yes, something went wrong. Why this is error? Because I have not defined what W is and I'm trying to write that W. This variable is not defined. That is why it is giving me error. Now second thing, if I want to check whether my resource, which is file, is still open or closed, because I have written over here f.close. So I can make sure based on f.closed property, so that it will return me true if it is closed, otherwise it is going to return me false. So yes, it is not closed because I cannot execute this particular line because exception has generated. Okay, so this is not the appropriate location where I should close my resource. So I'll just comment this out because this is not the way to close it. This is not the appropriate way. Now here, in case of else, if I try to close my resource, now what happens? So here, instead of writing this, if I just write ABC, which is my string, okay, so this is the string I want to write into the file. So it is now no more dependency on the defined variable or not. I am directly trying to write this string into the file. So in this case, it should not generate any of the exception and it should run smoothly. So finally it should return true because my file should be closed. So yes, it is returning true because no exception is generated. This write operation has got performed and it has closed because else block will only get executed in case there is no exception. But in case of exception is generated, else clause is not going to appear. So even except block is not the proper location to close my file, because this will only get executed in case of exception is there. Here there is no possibility because your control will not go back in case of exception has occurred. Else will only get else will only be executed in case no exception. So whether we should write in this and this both, in order in either case that my resource should get closed or not. But no, Python is giving me one solution to close it at appropriate way, and that is the finally block, which will always get executed whether exception has occurred or not. So that's the beauty of Python. So we are writing over here f.close, and lastly we are going to make sure whether my file has got closed or not. So I'm going to execute it. So here it is giving me one error. Let us solve it first. The error over here is that I cannot keep the else block empty, so I need to write pass over here, and then let us try to execute the code. Yes, now it has given true because I am trying to write ABC into my file and no exception is generated and my resource is finally closed. Now if I change a little bit and if I am trying to write some variable which is not yet defined, in this case it must generate an exception, so I must be getting something went wrong, this message, but I need to make sure that my resource, that is my file, must be closed, so it should return true. Oh yes, exactly, it is right, it is giving me something went wrong. That means exception is generated and it is closing my file because it is giving me true because of this last line what I have written. So I hope you have understood the concept of exception, how to handle this exception using try and except block, how to deal with multiple except block and else block, and finally the finally clause will help you out to close all your resources. So see you soon in next session. Till then, happy learning.